The Brian Muha Memorial Foundation is a nonprofit organization that my family and I started in memory of my son Brian. He had just finished his first year of college. He was almost 19 years old. He had moved into an off-campus house. While he was there, actually the first night that he went back, two inner-city young men who were also 18 drove into that off-campus neighborhood where Brian was sleeping and chose a house at random. And they broke into the house that Brian had just moved into. One of the roommates, Aaron, heard the noise and came out. And then they took Brian and Aaron in the car and stopped at a place where there's a hill. And on the top of that hill, they killed Brian and Aaron. And when we had to go to the trials for Terrell and Nathan a year later, we had to drive through their neighborhood. And I just was haunted by the thought that Terrell and Nathan were little boys at one time, trying to grow up in that neighborhood and not having much help getting through the struggles that they had to face. And I thought, I know there are children like that growing up everywhere. We thought that in Brian's memory, we could do what we could to help inner city children. So that's why we started the foundation. That was in order to raise money for inner city children to go to good schools so that they could get the education they deserve. It just wasn't enough. I knew that God wanted us to do more. And so we started the Run the Race Club, a second nonprofit organization, but a much more hands-on one. After school is 5 years old through 20 and beyond. So from 2:30 until 6:30 or 7:30, it's loud in the center. There are children all over. About an hour or so after they get here to the center, we have a full meal. Always during the meal, we get a chance to really talk to the children, usually about something to do with what's going on in the world, what's going on in their world. And they always have so many questions, and they're interested, and they listen for a certain amount of time. But before the meal and after the meal is when they're allowed to choose what they want to do while they're at the center. If somebody wants to just be alone in the library and sit down and read a book, they can do that. If they want to play in the game room and play, bumper pool or hockey, they can do that. If they want to play a board game or cards in the dining room, if they want to do some craft or art, if they want to be in the music room, we have a tumbling room, they can do those things. And all of those rooms have volunteers in them. So the children aren't just in there by themselves. They have somebody who's interacting with them, not just standing over them and watching that everything goes okay, but entering into their lives. Our children connect with our volunteers very quickly. Our children don't have too many adults in their lives who have been consistent. So they need people who make a real commitment to them, and they attach themselves very quickly. I think that the racers have a kind of a sad acceptance of the situation that they're in, and that worries me, because if you just accept it, then you'll be stuck in it. And they don't want to be stuck in it, but they feel helpless.
If I was out running a race, if I wasn't here, I'd be at home bored, walking around, I don't know, probably doing something I'm supposed to be doing, for real. But I'm here, being safe. We come here all the time. It's fun. Miss Rachel, a lot of support. We come here to talk to her about anything. She'll support us with anything,
One of our big focuses is on trying to constantly tell them how everybody has struggles, and you can beat those struggles. And so we feel like cheerleaders a lot. And that's what they need. They need people that are cheerful and cheering them on. they want so much for a better life. I'll never forget a little girl. She was about 9 years old when she said to me, I want a better life, but I don't know how to get it. And I said, well, that's what we're here for, to help you get that, you know. And so that's what we're still here for, and that's what we'll be here for.